So, the question of today is what does it mean when somebody says that they speak a language? So, I've been thinking about this a lot the last couple of days because one of my friends from church that I used to talk with a lot recently came back from Korea and he was teaching English there. And he mentioned that he was learning Korean and it's going pretty well. And a lot of the people there tell him that he speaks pretty well and his pronunciation is pretty good. And he said he thinks it's because he already speaks Spanish. And so a couple of days ago, we were talking again, and I mentioned I have a Spanish class and stuff. And we were talking about that, and he's like, "Yeah, Spanish is really complicated. It's got so many tenses and, blah, 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 right?" And he said, "I'm pretty good in the present tense, but when it comes to like the past and the future, then it starts getting confusing." And I was thinking, well, wait a second. You said you speak Spanish. In my mind, I was thinking, um, I know he's not a native speaker, but I was thinking fluent or like upper advanced level. I was thinking he speaks well, not just kind of speaks it, but he speaks really well. And then now you're telling me you're kind of restricted to just the present tense. So he never told me anything about I speak well, or I've traveled in Latin America, or I have a bunch of Spanish speaking friends, or anything like that. It was just my assumption that he speaks well. And there's two things that may have influenced me to think that way. One of them is where I live. There's so many Spanish speakers, and you can't ever tell who speaks Spanish and who doesn't. Um, and so when somebody says they speak Spanish, you kind of assume that they speak well because, well, most of the people that do speak Spanish speak it really well. Um, and then the other thing is he is part Hispanic. So, if a Chinese person tells you they speak Chinese, you're kind of going to think, well, they probably speak really well. Um, so those two things may have made me think he speaks better than he really does. But I wanted to know if somebody tells you they speak a language, do you usually think that they're advanced or they're more like lower intermediate level? Putting those two things aside, so I guess take me for example. I don't look Indian at all, but if I told you I speak Hindi, would you think I speak really well, or would you think I can converse about some stuff and I know some vocabulary and basic stuff, and then that's pretty much it. I'm definitely nowhere near fluent. Um, so that's what I wanted to know. And you can tell me the levels, like if it's A2 or B1 or whatever, or you can just tell me like what somebody can do or can't do. That's fine. Um, so thanks for any comments I get in advance. I look forward to reading your comments. So thank you.